So talk to me about the decision process. Renasant had been on Mercury for a long time. So you guys are getting ready to go to a different platform. Like what platforms do you look at, and how did you make the final decision?
So we've been with Mercury since about 2018, I think is when we went live.
Okay.
And I want to say we started building it out early 2018 or late 17. The process we went through to select our new platform was mostly consisted of reaching out to peer institutions. And we looked at Collateral 360, and I'm trying to think of the other one. I can't think of another platform we looked at. But we also looked at Appraisal Flow, which is a relatively new platform. What I was looking for, and there's a couple others we looked at, but what I was looking for is a platform that was designed for commercial use but had residential capabilities. Yeah. So a lot of the platforms don't have dual use, or they were designed for residential but have commercial capabilities.
Right.
And that's what Mercury was. Mercury is a residential platform, and they have commercial capabilities, but residential takes priority over commercial. And I think that's part of the reason why we see it takes so long to get changes made, especially on that relate to the commercial side, because they're focused on residential. They may have a handful of banks, us included, that were using it for commercial use, but their primary clients are residential. So that quickly weeded out a lot of the platforms I looked at. It doesn't take long to look at a platform and realize that it was designed for residential use.
Yeah.
So there were several that I quickly eliminated for that reason. Narrowed it down to Collateral 360 and Uconnect, and what really solidified the Uconnect decision was speaking to peer institutions, especially ones that had experience with both Collateral 360 RIMS, Collateral 360 Purchase, and Uconnect. And so Collateral 360 looks great when their salesman's trying to sell it. It presents really well, and I was actually leaning towards Collateral 360 after looking at both platforms, primarily because it looked like it was easy to use, and it looked like it had very strong environmental capabilities, which we were also looking for. EDR, parent company of Collateral 360, was an environmental platform. From speaking to institutions that had tried Collateral 360 before going to Uconnect, they indicated they kind of had gotten drawn to Collateral 360 for the same reason, for the strong environmental, and then the appraisal side looked good. But once they got in there, they realized and started trying to use the platform, they realized that it was there was a lot of deficiencies. And I guess a good way to describe it is that EDR, kind of like Mercury, was designed for residential use and has commercial capabilities. Collateral 360 was started by an environmental-based company, and it had strong environmental capabilities, but wasn't really fully adequate for commercial appraisal needs. And so that I think we reached out to a total of 12 different financial institutions, and I was surprised at how willing all of them were to speak about their experience. Every one of them had great things to say about Sunda and the team, onboarding, and how quick they all are to respond to questions and needs. And I've certainly seen that from our onboarding process. And so that's really how we landed with Uconnect. I look forward to getting it out the door, which we plan on in 2 weeks. And it looks like we're on track to do that. No significant issues. We're in the process of onboarding our vendors right now, and that's gone really well. Sunda and Missy have been a big help with that. So as soon as we get all our vendors on board, we're going to roll it out. And I think our loan officers are going to really like it. I think it's easy to use. One of the features, this sounds minor, but one of the features in Uconnect that I know our lending staff is going to love is the drag and drop feature for documents, uploading documents. Mercury doesn't have that, even though I requested it on day one when we first started looking at Mercury. It never happened. They told me it was, but here we are 4 years later, and it still never happened.
Right.
And so not only does Uconnect have a drag and drop feature, but you can drag and drop multiple files at once. And our that seems trivial, but that's going to be, our lending staff are going to love that.